welcome back to ONC on Grand News Channel. Let's first start with Gebeya, which is a town located west of Weldyia. Gebeya, Gebeya was captured recently in September 8th. It was under TDF control for the majority of the time after Weldyia fell and most of Mersa fell. So it's been under TDF's control for more than 2 weeks, and on September 8th, Endf and Amara Regional Forces have confirmed to take this town from TDF. So it's an important town, and we have a news source confirming that Amara militia have retaken Gebeya from TDF. They left behind a T-62 tank. It is still functional, but it seems to have no fuel inside. They also have claimed that TDF fighters have vandalized most of the equipment. They have claimed that around 268 pieces of equipment were stolen or destroyed, including 25 excavators, 88 water trucks, 3 trains, and as well as 8 buses, 19 loader trucks, and as far as 5 mobile cranes, 40 generators, and more. So it seems as TDF have destroyed or damaged most of the industrial equipment in this town and area. So that is breaking news since Gebeya has been under TDF control, and after ENDF's past week's new offensive on most of all fronts, it seems as TDF are losing in this area and have fled or withdrew from the road connecting Jafra and Weldyia. New news is coming from Zarima, or the Gondar Front, which is another front we're going to be talking about. In Zarima, uh, ENDF forces and Amhara militia have confirmed to have taken the town. New images have come out of Amhara militia in Zarima, which is a town controlled by TDF forces not too long ago. Last week, TDF forces were as far as Debat around this area, but new claims from Debark and Debat as well as Dakao that Amhara militia and ENDF forces have completely pushed back the TDF forces in Debark and Dakao and Debat all the way back to Chobed. Lately, Zarima is the latest town that was captured. Zarima is a sizable town with some sort of importance. However, it's not a massive town. TDF forces have not responded to claims of losses in Gondar and as well as Debark, and this shows that those claims are somewhat true since Zarima is north of Debark and any forces left here would have been likely withdrew or either killed. So Zarima is under ENDF control with reports of Amhara forces pushing on this B30 highway in attempts to take Kai and into western Tigray, which is claimed by both Amhara and as well as Tigrayan troops. New news is coming from Afar Front. In Afar, we have confirmation of most of Afar being liberated by Afar regional forces. As you can see, even a woman here and most civilians have risen up and attempted to take back their land. It seems as TDF have claimed that they have withdrew, so it is uncertain of where the line is between leaving and being beaten. However, we've seen equipment being captured, or if it's left behind is still unclear, but we do know is that Afar and most of Afar land is under control of Amhara regional forces, Afar regional forces, excuse me. A new front we also have to look at is the Wargesa all the way to Weldyia front on the A2 highway. Both both TDF and ENDF have claimed to killed a lot of people in this area, as well as capturing a lot of equipment. In Weldyia, there's a claim of a TDF T7MB1 has been destroyed in an apparent airstrike, allegedly south of Mursa in recent fightings. This would be the first documented TDF T7MB1 destroyed since November when Tigray regional forces lost theirs in initial fighting. Um, this is a tank which is reportedly a TDF T7 to MB1. It has been confirmed being destroyed by a somewhat airstrike, most likely from an airstrike. It is uncertain if it's a drone or a attack jet or bomber, but we do know that this tank was south of Mursa and near the B-22 highway. These are more images showing the tank being destroyed. And another news from the Mursa front is that on September 8th, Endf with RF support have recaptured most locations around Hayk Lake, being seen on FBC with bridge laying equipment north of the lake. TDF have claimed to inflict casualties in this area, as well as Endf claiming to inflict casualties. This area is a river near the north of Hayk Lake and south of Guba and around this river right here. So this tells us that most forces around Hayk Lake have been either captured or have fled or withdrew, and we can assume that most of their forces are in Idari or holding force or fighting in the Guba and Garima area. But we do know now that RF forces have pushed back TDF forces in the Hayk Lake. So most of any claims that TDF are near Hayk or even the A2 highway around this area is unlikely since they do have control of this river as well as Guba. Lastly, we have new news of the Sekota and Lalibela front. In Lalibela, um, which is under TDF control in the initial conflict where Weldyia fell and soon immediately Lalibela fell after, or Weldyia fell and then Lalibela fell in the initial conflict. In the north, in Sekota, Sekota was captured on September 3rd after a new offensive came from ENDF to take Sekota. We are getting reports that Aga Liberation Front has control of neighboring villages, but it is unclear of the status of the conflict between ENDF and Aga Liberation Front, which supposedly is claiming to have 30 to 40,000 fighters, which is skeptical since that is a lot of men. But we do know that there is some sort of resistance in the north. There's also new claims that ENDF forces have actually pushed south. Um, in the initial capture of Sekota, I did claim that it is most likely that ENDF are going to push into Tigray to capture Korem or push south into Lalibela. Now we are getting confirmation that in Lalibela there is fighting around Lalibela and the surrounding region. We can assume that ENDF forces have taken this highway or road south into the region near Lalibela. So there's there's a lot of fighting going on a lot of places. The Zarima in the north, Sekota Lalibela Road, Afar, as well as Weldyia. Lastly, another front we're going to be talking about, and new news coming from September 9th, is the Gashena Filakit B-22 highway front. There has been fighting in Gargesa with heavy casualties on both sides. Gargesa is south of Debre and Debre and Felakit, as well as near the B-22 highway. There has been claims that in Gargesa there was TDF fighters there, and there was a presence of Ethiopian attack helicopter planes as well as drones in this area. So we can assume that ENDF is heavily trying to take back Gashena as well as Felakit. We're actually getting reports of both TDF and Endf claiming to capture Gashena. Um, it is unclear of who has control of Gashena at this point, but both sides is claiming Gashena. We are assuming Felakith is under Endf control since they have claimed to have taken Felakith, but we still need video or picture confirmation. But we do assume that Felakith is under Endf control at this moment. This has been your news update on September 9th. Please consider subscribing and liking. Have a good day.